The Minister of Social Development, Ms Lindiwe Zulu, visited the Lavendar Hill community to assess their needs and investigate how the department, in partnership with other stakeholders, can address the social ills in the area for the development of the Greater South Peninsula. The visit in the area is a response to the plea made by Ms Elizabeth Sukers, a Member of Parliament who in May last year pleaded with the Minister to address gang-related violence in her constituency, especially Hillview and Lavender Hill. Minister Zulu, in her budget vote, promised to visit the area, responding to the request made by Ms Sukers. The officials of the department, prior to her arrival, had held dialogues with the community of Lavender Hill in order to find solutions together. The community brought their requests and propositions to the minister and shared the following.
Burning issue, point number 1, persons with disabilities. Our physically challenged persons with disabilities are faced with health issues, especially the relocation of top floor to ground floor. There are also no recreational spaces and safe spaces for persons with disabilities.
We have to over to a busy highway into another gang turf to go and report cases in Steenberg, and Lavender Hill needs its own police station.
There is clearly a relationship between the school dropouts and curriculum. Not all of the youth are privileged enough to excel in the academia. Therefore, we need a change in the curriculum to change to all aspects of the learner, not just academic, but arts and practical subjects too.
Oh, sometimes the father was a gangster, and now the son believes that he also needs to be a gangster. So I think more women needs to be trained to do this counseling.
Second issue is parenting, training. We've got a lot of child-headed households. Teen pregnancy is a very high, is a serious issue in our community, and parents also with physically challenged children, especially with the autism and the handicapped children that living in on blocks of flats on the top floor. So there is no facilities for them also to cater for those parents.
The things that I picked up now that came out during the dialogue that was had is the gender-based violence, especially the part of reporting gender-based violence at the Steenberg police station. At the moment, we do have some volunteers there in our trauma rooms, and unfortunately, all are not women. There are some men as well, but I can assure you they're all trained to deal with female or male victims.
On behalf of the school, I am the school counselor, and I am one person here for 1,300 learners. So, as a counselor, the cases that you deal with, it's sometimes it's small cases, but sometimes there's rape, and there's abuse, and there's robbery. Just yesterday, I had a learner in my office that was robbed, and she couldn't concentrate. We have panic attacks of matriculants, and I feel that we need more counselors in schools.
And we have to teach those children. Whether the father chased the mother down the road last night, the child didn't know where to go. Whether they ate or not, we have to teach them. And we are in emotional turmoil every day coming to this school, knowing that our learners are affected by all these problems.
Capacity building for other organizations. Capacity building to strengthen, whether it is to assist you in compliance issues, whether it's assisting you in strategic planning, etc. We as an organization are committed to helping other organizations because we recognize the fight is much bigger than one organization.
You know, I've been listening to all the burning issues and all that, but I want to say that the problem in our communities is broken identities. And if identities can be restored, I believe we don't have to tell our little girls that men are trash. We don't have to tell our young boys that women are no good. The gender-based violence, yes, it is out there and it is bad. But if we have programs to say, let us restore our young men, let us build our young women, and I believe, you know, we also don't have to look up today and say, tomorrow minister must come back and stand with a R1 million check on the pavement and say, yeah, it is. We have to start doing things and make it work. I thank you.
Thank you. Our children are suffering. Currently, most of our youth are too scared to go to schools because of borders. There's borders that have been placed. There's different gangs here. These gangs are living high lives. There's gang leaders living in Cape Flats. And it shouldn't be the way that it is, and that's part of the reason why our people are suffering.
We need a youth and family recovery program to combat peer pressure of joining gangs, bullying of physically challenged youth, and teen parenting, as well as drugs. The private and public sector to create an intern program that will lead to skills development and employment, agreeing that the current program should be readdressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister, for gracing us with your presence. Because not many ministers take the time, to come into our communities, to come and see how our communities are doing. Therefore, I would like to commend you for that. One of the issues here that I think we have not touched on is that youth, in programs like this, the youth is supposed to be here. We are supposed to come in here and speak for ourselves. Tell the minister that, Minister, we are scared for our lives because we cannot go out. We cannot go out from home to the shop to go and buy bread because we are scared that we might be shot. We might be forced to join gangs. I'm scared to go out because I don't know if I might be the next rape victim. In police stations, I must emphasize on this, ma'am. You know that it's so sad going to a police station as a boy child and reporting that I have been raped. And a police officer laughs in your face and tells you that no boy child can be raped. You know that I feel like the police officials, there also has to be workshops for them as well, where they are taught how to deal with issues like this. Because I go and report a rape matter, and a police officer comes to me and tells me that, what were you wearing? As if that is the problem. Because if a man can rape a 1-year-old child, it's not about what I was wearing.
Took a girl of 5 years old, grabbed the child out of the mother's arms. And that is no joke. We left the mother today at the school, primary school. Because your child is gone in a car and we don't know where the child is. So now the government wants to stop the walking bus. I think it's unfair towards the people, the mothers that offer their time and effort for all these years to do walking bus, and now there's a...
Today is a historic moment because an opposition party requested the national minister to come to Lavender Hill. Socially, Lavender Hill, Steenberg, Seawinds, the Cape Flats is the red on the map of South Africa in terms of a triage system. Minister came into office, she made a promise in 2019. She said that she will not be partisan, that it is about the people of South Africa, to make a difference to the people of South Africa. I took her up on that promise. Today we bring a national minister here. We are not bringing her here in a political affiliation. We are bringing her here as a minister for the people of South Africa. And this is the reason why I commend her as a mother and as a woman for being here to hear the voices of Lavender Hill. Want hier het ons meer begrafnisse as graduations. And it is in that spirit that I want to say to the minister today as she responds to you, welcome and thank you for demonstrating the kind of African leadership. Umuntu gumuntu kabantu. I am a person because of you. So today here in Lavender Hill, let us show her that warmth, and let her speak to us as a national minister.
Reason why I go back to the closing remarks of the president is because he said, we face steep and daunting challenges. Indeed, we are engaged in the battle of the soul for South Africa, but there can be no doubt that we will win. Our Honorable Sukers here today is echoing those words of a president in a different way. And that's exactly what I did. I did not only decide that today I'm going to come here. I decided that the officials of the Department of Social Development must come here. I decided that the officials of the department must not sit only in the offices, because I know from time to time they have to be in the offices, but they will not feel the pain. They will not see the cry. They will not experience the cries that have been raised by the young woman here who has articulated so well the issues of young people. Constituency office, according to the Constitution, is supposed to open its doors to each and every citizen who has got issues that need to be addressed. We are all South Africans. We are a nation with diversity. We are a nation with different individual and collective interests. We must let democracy thrive in South Africa. So, to the community, first and foremost, I want to say to you, our outreach dialogue, and the officials of the department know, I don't want outreach programs that come and show that the minister was here, nothing happens after. We will come back to account. Those that came before us, we will tell you what did they do, and we will tell you what did they not do. We cannot work without strong community organizations. The most important thing that we have to do is to strengthen the local communities. Strengthen the organizations that live with the people. Strengthen the people who are your leaders. We must empower them by saying to them, when it comes to gender-based violence, where are the organizations that deal with gender-based violence? And let me also say, when we find those organizations must be accountable. Because accountability is not a one-way street. We do not want the leadership that comes in today, goes out tomorrow, gets this little bit and forgets. We want continuity, we want sustainability, we want accountability. Because ourselves, we also have to account to you. So that even myself, when I'm being held accountable, I'm being held accountable for what I said I will do. And that doesn't reduce the challenges of the past and all, but I must be held accountable for what I said I will do. So I'm saying to the department, when next we come to this hall, we will be coming back, because I want the department to go and consult with other departments. Your Department of Health, your Department of SAPS, because issues of SAPS have been raised here, safety and security, your Department of Education, your Department of Transport. We are saying you have to cross over a highway and all that. All the departments that are relevant in addressing the community here, we must bring a coordinated way of doing it. So when next we come here, we will take all the presentations that have been made here. We will agree that these are the key departments that have to respond to some of the issues. We come back here to you with a plan of action. Plan of action that says, local says they can do this. Province say they can do this. National say they can do this. And let me also tell you, to be honest with you, all these layers of government, they all have got plans for doing something. The weakness in our system is getting it done. I don't want to go to the issues of the youth in depth, but when you spoke, I was pained. I was pained because as a young woman and the young men who are here, you shouldn't be so emotional even in crying, in raising your issues. We should be the ones that are creating a conducive environment for you to work. That you can go to a police station and be rubbish like that is not good. She raised a variety of issues. And part of those issues about skills for youth, part of those issues about education for youth, part of those issues about recreation for the youth, part of those issues are the issues that were raised here about culture, and they were also raised somewhere this side about people not knowing where they belong. Let me make the statement. We all belong to South Africa. I do want to say the issue of the school counseling and school counselors and social workers is a pain for me, because it is not fair, neither to the counselors or to the social workers, to be in a school that we know is plagued with violence, drugs and all. We expect one social worker to cover all the children that are there. It is not fair. So it is the responsibility of my department as well as the province to make sure that we look at how can we increase the number of social workers. Can we make sure that the neighborhood watch organizations that do so much work within the communities, and in many instances they don't even have the necessary resources. I've been to places where I see the community policing forum members. Gee, they're wearing flip-flops and they are expected to chase gangsters who are wearing Nike, running fast. Those are the communities that need to be supported with the right gear. Faith-based organizations, the religious community, the religious leaders must not be left out in the planning, because many people go to church on Sunday. The message about how we must stop gender-based violence, it must happen there in church. The messaging that is responding to the young woman who spoke here, the Bafundisi and all, must say the same thing when they are in church. Lastly, the men and women in blue. Please don't rubbish them, because it is not all of them who behave like that. Many of them, they risk their lives. They go into the most difficult of communities. They duck bullets. They see dead bodies. They are the first to come. They are the first to come to see a child that has been raped so many times, being pulled and put on a stretcher to be taken to hospital. Please don't rubbish all of them. Let us thank the ones who have consistently stood by the oath which they took.
The Department of Social Development is currently in Lavender Hill to work with the community to find solutions on the challenges in that community.